Acrophobia is one of the most common phobias in the world, the intense fear of heights. It's not just about standing at the edge of a cliff. For some people, even looking out of a tall building window or climbing a ladder can trigger dizziness, panic, or a racing heartbeat. Psychologists think this fear is partly evolutionary. For our ancestors, avoiding high places helped survival. But in modern life, acrophobia can interfere with simple daily activities like crossing a bridge, riding an escalator, or visiting an observation deck. Treatments range from gradual exposure therapy to virtual reality simulations that let patients safely face their fear step by step. So while the fear of heights is natural, acrophobia takes it to another level, where the mind sees danger, even if the body is perfectly safe. Thalassophobia is the deep fear of vast bodies of water, especially the ocean. It's not just swimming. Even looking at endless waves or imagining what lurks beneath can trigger panic. People with this phobia often describe the ocean as infinite, dark, and unknowable. Evolution may play a role again. Humans are land creatures, and large open water has always posed risks. Add in stories of sea monsters, giant squids, or shark attacks, and the fear grows stronger. Today, images of the deep sea in movies or video games can cause the same chills as standing on a boat. While the ocean is mysterious, thalassophobia reminds us how powerful our imagination can be when faced with the unknown depths. Entomophobia is the extreme fear of insects. For most people, bugs are just annoying, but for someone with this phobia, even a harmless fly or tiny ant can cause a strong reaction. This fear often comes from the way insects move, fast, unpredictable, swarming in groups. Historically, insects carried real dangers: mosquitoes spreading malaria, fleas carrying plague, locusts destroying crops. So our brains may be wired to be cautious. In modern cities, the actual threat is small, but the panic is real. Entomophobia can make parks, gardens, or even kitchens terrifying places. Therapy often focuses on slowly exposing people to insects, even starting with photos, until the fear decreases. Astraphobia is the intense fear of thunder and lightning. It affects both children and adults, and even animals like dogs and cats often show similar panic during storms. People with astraphobia may hide indoors, close curtains, or cover their ears when thunder roars. Historically, storms were linked to angry gods or bad omens, which may explain why the fear runs so deep in human culture. Today, we know it's just natural electricity, but the combination of loud sound, bright flashes, and a sense of danger makes astraphobia hard to shake. For some, just seeing a dark cloud can be enough to trigger anxiety. Ergophobia is often described as a fear of work, but it's more complex than just not wanting a job. For some, it's rooted in anxiety about workplace performance, fear of failure, or even trauma from toxic job environments. People may feel paralyzed by the thought of deadlines, presentations, or office interactions. Ergophobia can look like procrastination or laziness, but it's actually a serious condition that limits someone's ability to function in society. Therapists often treat it by breaking tasks into smaller steps and helping patients rebuild confidence. In today's high-pressure work culture, ergophobia highlights how mental health can shape our relationship with productivity. Nomophobia is the modern fear of being without your mobile phone. No signal, no battery, no internet. Studies show it's surprisingly common. People feel anxiety when they can't check messages, maps, or social media. The fear comes from more than missing entertainment. Phones today are extensions of memory, communication, and even safety. Without them, people may feel lost or cut off from the world. Symptoms include restlessness, checking the phone dozens of times per hour, or even phantom vibrations. While not officially recognized in all medical manuals, nomophobia shows how quickly technology rewires our fears. It sounds like a joke, but Hippopotomonstrosesquipedaliophobia is the fear of long words. The irony of having the longest word describe the fear of long words isn't lost on anyone. But for people who truly experience it, the sight of an unusually long or complex word can trigger anxiety, embarrassment, or avoidance. Often it overlaps with social anxiety, the fear of mispronouncing words or being judged while reading aloud. Linguists point out that big words have been used historically to intimidate or exclude people from academic circles. So while the name makes us smile, the phobia itself is real and affects communication confidence. Coulrophobia is the fear of clowns. While clowns are meant to be funny and entertaining, their exaggerated makeup, painted smiles, and unpredictable behavior often have the opposite effect. Psychologists call this the uncanny valley effect, when something looks almost human, but not quite right. Add in pop culture portrayals of evil clowns in movies and books, and the fear grows stronger. For someone with coulrophobia, even a children's party or circus can feel terrifying. Interestingly, surveys show this phobia is more common than many expect, especially among kids. Spectrophobia is the fear of mirrors, or more specifically, the fear of what might appear in them. This phobia often ties to superstitions, mirrors as portals, breaking mirrors bringing bad luck, or seeing ghostly figures in the reflection. For others, it's linked to body image issues, where mirrors trigger negative self-perception. Horror stories and movies have only made the fear worse, showing haunted mirrors or reflections that move on their own. Whether rooted in folklore or psychology, spectrophobia shows how something as ordinary as a household mirror can feel supernatural or threatening. Chronophobia is the fear of time passing. It often affects prisoners, the elderly, or anyone who feels powerless over the future. People with chronophobia may obsess over clocks, calendars, or the idea that life is slipping away too quickly. In some cases, it's tied to existential anxiety, the awareness of mortality. Modern culture, with constant deadlines and the pressure to use time wisely, can make the phobia even stronger. Unlike other fears, you can't escape time. It's everywhere, always ticking forward. That's what makes chronophobia especially difficult. Pyrophobia is an intense fear of fire. While it's natural to respect fire, since it's dangerous, people with pyrophobia experience extreme reactions even to small, controlled flames like candles or a fireplace. The fear may come from personal trauma or from the instinctive association of fire with destruction. Throughout history, fire has been both a tool for survival and a threat of disaster. For some, just seeing smoke or smelling something burning is enough to cause panic. Pyrophobia shows how survival instincts can become overwhelming in modern safe environments. Agoraphobia is the fear of open or crowded places, situations where escape might feel difficult. It can make people avoid public transport, shopping centers, concerts, or even leaving their homes altogether. Unlike simple shyness, agoraphobia often links to panic disorder, the fear of having a panic attack in public. At its worst, it can trap someone inside their home for years. Treatments focus on cognitive behavioral therapy and gradual exposure, helping patients rebuild confidence step by step. Agoraphobia shows how a fear of space can shrink a person's world to almost nothing.